Welcome back again to the Radar Files. I am your host, your frate. Rada ni moja. Na kama kawaida, before we begin, sanitize your mouth. Iyo ni hibiscus, iyo si wine. It is the bitter things in life that matter.
African spirituality is knowing God in the way your ancestors knew God. All right? Now, we can't get, at this moment, because of everything that has happened, our history and everything, it is hard for us to be born into African spirituality.
Okay.
So, most of us, we are born into religion.
Very true.
In fact, African spirituality is different from witchcraft.
Yeah. It's different from witchcraft. Mm-hmm. But people are not able to
separate.
Yeah. People are always thinking that it just...
Witchcraft. There's African spirituality and there's witchcraft. Witchcraft, there were also, kitu yenye watu haikai kwa kichwa yao, there were also witches uko in the West, ama in Europe, wherever they are. And the definition of witches was usually something political. Most of the time, it's just some men wanted to bring some women down who had a lot of power in the community. The other form of witchcraft is when these colonialists came to our country and they imposed their rule on us. They termed our African spiritual ways as witchcraft because they did not understand how we will worship like that. Like, for instance, if you go to the Agekoyo community, you will realize that there's a lot of blood being used in particular ceremonies, and there are rituals that people need to follow. And this kind of thing was perturbing to the people that invaded because they did not understand what was happening, and they made it to seem inferior to the people so that these people may conform to the rule that they are being given. And up to this point, we have not woken up from that psychoma. We are still continuing to go down and down that rabbit hole. Instead, the reason for this video is to call you out, to wake you up so that you may realize, so that you may come to an understanding where you are in connection with your ancestors. And they have taught us, they have put us into these systems that we understand that our ancestors really matter. And by that I'm talking about when you go to school and you learn about biology, you learn about DNA. DNA is actually a collection of your whole family tree from where it began. Wacha niseme tu hivyo. You as a person, you exist because of the two genetic materials of your father and of your mother. The combination of that, it makes you. The two genetics from your parents, they originate from two other different people who are your grandfather and your grandmother on both sides. And this kind of information, this kind of genetic information is a pathway for the abilities that you may possess within your body that you are not even aware of, because it was demonized. Your culture was demonized. You were told to get away from your roots. A tree without roots is a wood to make a house. And we all know, between a wood and a tree, which one is more alive? There's this saying by Lao Tzu, where he's saying, a tree is soft and supple when it is alive. It is hard and brittle when it is dead. That's a saying by Lao Tzu. Nawachi hapo na hiyo saying. Read more.
Because you view God in the way your ancestors viewed him, they automatically label you as a witch doctor or a witch, which but is just...
Depend. See, African spirituality didn't involve worshipping a tree.
No, they didn't. They didn't worship the tree. The tree was their place of worship.
What the fuck? Ati worshipping a tree. Hey. Ebu try researching about the tree of life. Try researching about the tree of knowledge. Hizi vitu zenye Christianity wametuwekea. Just try researching. You will understand more of what the tree means. If you go deep into understanding what the tree means, in these spiritual things, then clarity will dawn onto your mind. Sitai kusema mi vitu mingi, naona hii video inakuwa refu sana.
Worship.
Okay.
Yeah, their tree was their place of worship. If you look at, I don't know, African cultures are very different.
I understand. I think my mind wandered.
Yeah,
my mind wandered.
Okay.
Unajua Gen Z ndio unaweza pata watu wana worship mti.
Yeah. And it's just not understanding.
What do you mean Gen Z wana worship mti? Ni mti gani hiyo Dr. Kingori?
What their ancestors were doing. Unaona hiyo mti ilikuwa nikaa kanisa ya leo. So wakitaka kuongeleshea Mungu cause hawakuwa na saa the structure buildings walikuwa wanaenda chini ya kimtu kikubwa. So they worship God from there, they make the sacrifices like that. It's like we don't worship watu wa mlima, we don't worship the mountain. No.
I think about the tree. Who was created first, man or the tree? Ask yourself. Or ask your neighbor. Tap your neighbor and tell them, neighbor. Who was created first, the tree or man? So, who has more information about the land, the tree or man?
We don't worship watu wa mlima, we don't worship the mountain. No.
You just face the mountain.
Yes, the creator of that mountain. All right? Because we believe when he comes to earth, anakaanga hapo. Yes, anatokanga, we say the creator of heaven and earth because mobi wa iguru nathi. But now when his spirit comes anaketingi hapo kwa mlima. But hakutoka hapo. Si ati alitoka hapo ndani ya mlima, hapana. But that is his seat of kingship. That's why we face that.
And that's
Shughuli ya mlima, the story of the mountain is very critical. It is very, very critical. Sometimes I think about it like, what if he was huyo mwenye anasema mobio igoro na the creator of heaven and earth? What if it was a UFO that landed on a mountain? Who knows? What if this mountain is who you are and the spirit landing on top of the mountain, it is just the spirit inside you who you are, because you as a person, you are also the land. What if? Rada? Aya.
The basis of that is the concept of African spirituality from Mount Kenya region.
Yes, from Mount Kenya region. And I've had people say, Ati, how dare you say that? But I always ask, especially the religious people, I always ask them, where did Moses get the 10 commandments? On Mount Sinai. Who gave him God? So it shows that if you can believe that, then why is it so hard to believe that kuna mtu anaweza sema Mungu wangu anaketingi his place of kingdom, his king penye huwa ana rule ni pale juu ya Mount Kenya. Why is it such a hard concept?
Imenikumbusha kitu ingine. There's this mountain or a hill, I don't know if it's a mountain or it's a hill, inaitwa Kalki. I think it's Kalki that Sadhguru visited, and a lot of scientific research has been done around that mountain, and they were showing that on this mountain, on this region, when you get there, there's a lot of anomaly that happens. The magnetic fields, they all go off during some particular times. The electric field changes, levels of radiation rise. So there's things associated with mountains. There's just things associated with mountains. Just know that. Even when I was watching this movie and a series, I think it's called The Book of David. the book of David kwenye wanatuonyesha, is it prophet Samuel, where he used to stay on top of the mountain. Whenever you get on top of a mountain, you get certain hallucinations. I don't know if it's because due to the high altitude and less oxygen in your brain that induces you into a state of thinking differently or accessing your subconscious mind. It might be that, but also it might be something that is also spiritual that we are yet to figure out in this modern society that we live in. Let me just let the video run ndio nianze kurant vizuri.
How do we know the concept of God is in the mountain? Sio mzungu
African spirituality is knowing
I get
God.
Where he's coming with it, like ati how do we know that sio mzungu alileta that ideology? How do we really know that? Because they demonize and they continue to demonize how we use how the Agikuyu look towards the mountains. Unaona kama saa hii wanashinda wameipa watu wanaisema kila saa murema, and there's this in other information. Sikumbuki nilitoa wapi, but hiyo time I was in this conspiracy theory groups, and they were saying that Kwai mountain, it has been restricted that you cannot go and visit it anyhowly, and they do this by saying it is because it is a wildlife reserve center. So the conspiracy was going like, there's someone who died, I don't want to, who passed away. Hii inaweza fanya manzeni get cancelled. There's someone who passed away and they used their ashes to come and pour around Mount Kenya, and this person was a white person. You get it? So these people are saying that they are doing rituals on top of our mountain. So iko tu hivyo na hizi masoso zangu mingi, na vile nimeanza kuongea nimeanza kuona ni kama I might get myself into hot soup. You can watch my other video, and that's it for today. Like, subscribe, in your radar, and this has been the radar file for today. YouTube thinks you might like this video that is suggested on your screen, so click that one next and let's continue to connect. Kata